pulled up a little earlier and you were supposed to be scheduled a little different, but you know.
Oh no, it's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm on my chill shit. But yeah, you know, I respect them dudes. But
Okay.
in the finals, everybody like, Golden State got the experience, so it should be a cakewalk. And I'm just like, yo, what Boston has went through this playoffs alone goes to show
Right.
that this shit ain't they got experience as well. So,
Right.
Steph, I'm gaining a little bit of respect for. You seeing how much defense he's played in the first couple games. A little moments
Yes.
he's locked in on a couple guys, but like Klay Thompson, I think he overrated. Andrew Wiggins, I think he overrated.
What?
Jordan Poole, I think he like a roller coaster. Like I'm
Wow.
gonna keep it a buck, bro.
Wow.
That's how I always been on them cats, bro.
You know what, bro? That's
This
kind
ain't
of
nothing new.
surprising. That's surprising coming from you, knowing as you've known and watched basketball for a really long time. You have to remember that the system in the Warriors has reverted back to what they did in their first championship before all of the hype, before all of the super teams, when they beat one of the last super teams that featured a prime LeBron, a young Kyrie, and a Kevin Love, who both sat out after being injured. One got injured by, I believe, Kelly Olynyk, which was Kevin Love. Kyrie Irving literally split his knee in half and couldn't go in the finals, which is the strength in numbers. Everybody touched the ball, having a good bench, and pretty much allowing Steph to run the show, which I genuinely believe he should have won the finals MVP back in 2015. But that's neither here nor there. But to say that the Warriors are overrated is kind of a turnaround. I mean, the amount of years that they had to go from grinding and watching everybody else be as successful as they were, to now being overrated just shows the level of consistency that they've continued to reach. I mean, you don't get to six finals in 8 years and be overrated. I don't see how you can do that and still be overrated at this
As
point
a
in time.
team, as a
Yes,
team, I agree. But
that's how I'm
individually,
looking at it.
are you going to tell me? Are you going to sit here, AJ, and tell me that this is the same Clay Thompson that we saw back in 2016 and 2017? This is the stat Clay.
Okay, so this is the thing with Clay Thompson. You have to remember he is coming off of back to back career ending injuries. Career ending. Both injuries on their
With all due
own.
respect, with all due
Go ahead.
respect, how
Go ahead.
long are we going to keep using that excuse?
No,
And
no,
I
but
say
this is because
excuse, and it's a fact, but I say excuse, AJ, for the simple fact that he sat out for 2 years. I mean, it's
yes.
to a point now where, he sat out for 2 years. They had a nice sample size. He played pretty much all season this year without getting hurt. So he had
Hmm.
enough time to get his rhythm back. I don't really want to hear the excuse about the injury. And okay, it's
Okay.
a given he may not be the same exact Clay
He's not
Thompson,
gonna
but
be
I'm
the
saying even
same,
as far as
Seven.
production,
He's not gonna be the same
true.
because if
But
we
can
look
he?
at the history, well, look at the history of the injury because what was it? It was an ACL and it was a knee, I believe, right? What was the two major
Right,
injuries first?
right,
Because I
right.
believe with the ACL, nobody has really come back the same, apart from Kevin Durant, which
Ever.
didn't really get any credit for that, right? We've
Correct.
seen what Kobe was like
Because
after
it's a
his
non-contact
ACL
injury.
injury. We've seen Dominique Wilkins and how he was just never the same after that. We can even go back to the Knicks, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Willis Reed. Do you get what I'm saying? And what that injury does to
Right.
players, it does change you. Now, bearing in mind,
I,
Clay Thompson, even though he is a shooter, you have to understand that his lateral movement and his general quickness is not necessarily going to be what we expect him to be when you come back from something like that. I think you're not going to see a fully prepared Clay Thompson until all the way next year, or if there's a game 6. That's just
But
my
see that
personal
you made,
opinion.
in my opinion, you made my argument for me because I feel like okay, you saying to me number one that next year he'll be great. He's been out for 2 years and had this whole year to be
Yes,
playing without help. So I mean, it is what it is. Now you're right. This injury will definitely affect his lateral movement because we looked at Klay Thompson as a top-notch two-way player on offense and defense. You know what I'm
of
saying? So his
course.
lateral movement defending is definitely not going to be the same, and that's where I give him a pass at. But
Yes.
Klay Thompson, offensively, you said it yourself, is a shooter. So I don't see how this injury, his percentage is the difference in his percentage of shooting, his production, his efficiency is outrageous to me when we talk about consistency. And I don't see how the injury play a role in those numbers when he's not a slasher. He wasn't consistently getting those buckets by slashing or
Mm,
going to the rim. He's always been a
mm,
shooter. Now I know
mm, mm.
the quickness and like you said, the pick at Golden State, he drew. But I say Clay to me can still on any given night still do 30, possibly. He can have those moments. But before I felt like Clay could give you about 30, almost 30 every night. And I just don't
Mm.
see that no more.
Well, again, I still believe in Klay
But
Thompson.
still
I'm
be
not like
raises. And I'm
you.
just like, yo, Clay ain't that guy no more.
Well, I still believe in Klay Thompson. I'm not like Seven that expects everybody else to be like LeBron James and just never
Maybe I'm
have
just
any fall
disrespectful
off.
because D Wade is
You know,
overrated.
huh?
Yeah, see, he set the bar. I feel like D Wade is overrated. I think D Wade is one of the
Oh
most
my
overrated
God,
players in
D
history.
Wade is overrated. Seven, what are you? What? Oh my days, what is
Yeah,
happening? What's
yeah,
happening,
definitely,
Seven?
definitely.
What's going
When
on?
is when has Dwayne
I'm
Wade ever been the? When is Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
go on,
question.
go on.
When has Dwayne Wade ever? When has Dwayne Wade ever been the best two guard in the league?
Oh my days,
What
2009.
season?
What?
What?
2009.
Yeah.
2009.
Wait a minute.
Go back and look. It was Kobe
Wait a
number
minute.
one and D Wade number two.
Thank you.
Easily.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Dwayne Wade has never been the best person at his position in his career.
Oh
He's
no.
always he's always been at best number two.
But you're
You
not gonna
can't give
beat
me one
Kobe in
season that Dwayne.
2009, Seven. Come on.
Well, but that wasn't D Wade's only season though. AJ, look how many years Dwayne Wade has played. So I'm telling you, I'm asking you, give me a year that D Wade was the best player at his position for that
I
season.
think it's me personally. I like '09 Wade. I personally, if I'm biased towards Kobe, but if we not picking Kobe that year, it could have been 1A, 1B with them two, and that's just my personal
What
opinion.
happened in
Especially
2009 with Miami? Miami didn't go to the finals in 2009.
no, but you said what year was it? In '09? Go back and check the statistics. Go back and look. Go do the research. If I have to do it for you, I will. I will personally go back on the internet just to DM you '09 Wade and watch what that man did that whole year. It's not his fault that his team was trash. That's got nothing to do with him. If we're talking about
Is
from the singular
is
standpoint of a prime and what he did at the shooting guard position, I'm saying in 2009, if you don't have Killer Kobe at championship prime level where he went back to back 2 years winning that year, you have to put Dwayne Wade. You just have to. You have to, especially
yeah,
that year,
you're
2009.
arguing you're arguing for a number two spot. I'm not arguing about number two. I wanted to know, has there ever been a year that he has been the best player just at his position, not the best player in the league, just at his position? The simplest thing. And he's played. How many years have D Wade played? Let me ask you another question.
Go on.
Is 4 to 5 years a decent sample size to judge something?
I would say 5 years is five. 4 years is
Okay.
like,
From
I would say
2000,
5 years.
from
Five.
2006, from
Yes.
2006, when he won his first title,
Yes.
until 2010, 2011, when LeBron came.
Mhm.
What the hell did D Wade do with the Miami Heat?
Oh my
In
God.
those 4 to 5 years without LeBron and without Shaq, what did D Wade do with Miami? I just want you to tell me the facts. I don't want to, just tell me what he did.
Seven. We're not disrespecting D Wade. You're making
Missing the
this about D Wade.
playoffs and first round exits.
We're not
I'm not.
disrespecting D
I'm just
Wade
pointing
on this
facts
show.
because when
I
we
know it's your show, and I know you don't like him,
how
but we're not about to
no
just
no no no.
disrespect him and
This is a
say he
people
did
show.
nothing like that. We're not doing
How
that.
am I
Stop it.
disrespecting him, AJ? How am
It
I
is
disrespecting?
disrespect.
What? Just
It's
answer my question.
disrespectful.
Just answer my
It's
question. Just
disrespectful.
answer my question. What has D Wade done in those years without LeBron and Shaq?
Okay, so me personally, I think within those years he could have got at least two MVPs and scoring titles if we go on individually. But
No.
we know
What?
how the
What did?
league goes.
No. I was asking you. What did he do? Not what could he done. I don't. I don't want to talk opinion. What the fact? What did D Wade do in that 5 year stretch after winning his first title? Everyone put him on as the guy, Flash. From that period until LeBron came to Miami to win him his next championship, mind you. What did Dwayne Wade do in the league?
Me
Other than
personally,
put
I
up
feel
great
like
numbers.
he pushed others around him, other people within the conference. He went back to back with Melo, with LeBron, with Kobe. He had wars, but within those 5 years after Shaq left, I don't think they gave him enough of a team to really give him that platform to do much. Because obviously, as
Wait,
we
wait,
saw
wait,
with
wait, wait,
'06
wait, wait.
Kobe, you need a second co-star at the very least. That's like asking you,
Uh-uh,
what did Kobe
uh-uh.
do in
That
'06? You know what I mean?
that can't
Like,
ride, AJ. That
it
cannot,
can.
AJ.
It can
That can't
ride. It
that
can.
can't ride if if a person that was in the same draft
Hmm.
as Dwayne Wade took a team that was worse than the Miami Heat to the
Hmm.
finals by himself the following season in 2007. LeBron took
Okay.
Cleveland to the finals the very next year. He was in the same draft as Dwayne Wade, and he took a Cleveland team who was less talented than the team that D Wade had over the years from the period of Shaq leaving till LeBron go. And I understand D Wade also was hurt during that 4 to 5 years. But what we saw from D Wade in Miami as far as results was no playoffs or first round exits, no MVPs, no scoring titles, no nothing. What? No nothing. Dwayne Wade didn't win another ring until LeBron came. And then the first year when LeBron came to Miami, they they kept the driver's seat in Dwayne Wade's hands, and they lost to Dallas. LeBron did come up short in the finals. I'm not going to try to act
One
like he
hundred
played
percent,
great,
and you cannot sweep over that. So that's number
but
one.
so did Dwayne
Number
Wade. So
two,
did the rest of Miami.
wait, hold
So did
on.
the
But
rest of
you, but
Miami.
you're comparing somebody else who is an all-time great, in my opinion. And you know how I feel about LeBron. I don't like how they just put him over Kobe and put him over Jordan like that. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. But if we are comparing LeBron and Dwayne Wade, obviously you have to put LeBron over him. We're
Absolutely, but I'm
talking
not
about
comparing them. I'm not comparing
what
them.
you just did.
All I'm saying, no, what I'm stating is the facts. I'm not comparing. What I'm trying to say is because I wasn't finished. What I'm trying to say is the next year when they
Hmm.
decided to give LeBron the keys to the driver's seat, what happened?
Yes,
They
they won.
immediately went and won back-to-back championships. Went to
Yes,
three more finals in a row, but they immediately
yes.
went back to back, and LeBron won MVP that very next season. He should
Could
have
they
got
have
back to
done
back
that without?
MVPs. Derrick Rose stole it 2012.
Could they have done that without Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh?
Could what? Could LeBron win an MVP? He already won
No,
MVPs. He already took the team
no,
to a
no,
finals.
no, no, because you're saying that they won back-to-back finals. Could they have won with just LeBron there and Mike Miller and Shane Battier and Birdman and all of them? No, no.
If you wait a minute, wait a minute. You're talking
Answer the
about
question.
those. You're talking about 2012 and
Yes.
2013.
If Chris Bosh,
Are we?
right,
If
and
Chris
Dwayne
Bosh
Wade is not
and
there,
Dwayne Wade was not in it. Are you talking
is
about just the
LeBron taking
finals
that team
round
to
or
the
the whole
final?
seasons?
If they are not in that team, are they winning? Seven.
Yes, he's done it before.
Are
So,
they
so
winning
I
a
guess you're gonna take Ray Allen
championship?
off the team too.
Hold on.
I
Are
don't
they winning
know.
a I never said take to the finals.
I doubt that they would beat San Antonio.
They're not winning, Seven.
But I believe LeBron definitely could have beat
Seven.
OKC without Dwayne Wade and
Seven.
Chris Bosh. They won in
Seven.
5.
Seven. Is not happening without those two
I mean,
people. Yes, LeBron was the main focal point. Without the contributions
no,
of
it wouldn't
Dwayne
happen
Wade,
if it wasn't for LeBron.
it wouldn't happen. But remember, LeBron hadn't won yet without going to Miami. You have to like this notion that Dwayne Wade is
Okay,
just some
but see,
guy. Like it can't run. That can't we can't just do that like that.
okay, so if Dwayne Wade is not just some guy, explain to me
He's
what did
not.
he do before LeBron came?
Okay, so he
What
was
has he
already a
done
champion
before
before
LeBron came?
LeBron came. He was already a champion.
With who?
Let's start there.
With who?
Right?
With
With
who?
Shaq.
With who?
With Shaq.
Thank you.
With Shaq.
Thank you.
But he was the one taking the most important shots. He was the one bringing the team back from 20 points down. He was the one
He did
leading
his
that
thing
team.
2006. He did his thing
Yes,
2006. He
you
deserved the
have
finals
to give him
MVP. I'm
that.
not denying that. My question
Okay.
was from after they won that chip until LeBron came, in that 5-year sample size of
This
Dwayne Wade
how
having
seven.
Wade County
See
all to himself, what did he do?
this is how
Individually or by team? What did he do?
this is how Seven gonna get y'all, because what he's gonna do is he's gonna try and package the question in a different standpoint to make it seem like Dwayne Wade ain't who he is, right? LeBron was
Who
not
is he?
doing nothing before he come to Miami. He was losing. He was getting beat by the
Wait a
Celtics.
minute. Wait, whoa, whoa,
But
whoa,
he
whoa, whoa,
want to
whoa, whoa,
sweep
wait a
that
minute.
one under the rug and
LeBron
say
James
without
wasn't
LeBron
doing
going to
nothing before he
Miami,
came
that
to
nothing would have happened.
Miami. Did you just say
Right?
that? Did you
So
just say LeBron James was nothing until he came to
what was
Miami?
he doing before he got to Miami? What?
Winning
He was losing.
MVPs, taking a
He
team
was
from
losing.
Cleveland to the finals,
He was
winning gold
losing.
medals,
He was
scoring
and
titles.
Dwayne Wade didn't win no gold medal in 2008? Or Dwayne Wade didn't go to the redeem team with Kobe and Denver?
With who? With
With
LeBron.
Kobe and
With
LeBron
Kobe
and all
and
of
like,
that.
yeah,
He was with them.
Dwayne Wade has never been internationally like one of those guys to lean on. He's always been just a piece. Stop it. Just stop.
I hate what
Just
Seven is
stop it.
doing with you, like, man. Seven can trick
Just
y'all. He not
stop it,
gonna
bro.
trick me. He know I gone
I'm
back and
not
undone
trying
my
to trick
beat.
anyone. What you're doing
He
to
know
me is
you
trying
ain't
to make
slick,
me
Seven.
seem like I'm saying D Wade is trash. I'm not
You
saying D
want.
Wade is
You
trash,
are saying he's
but he
trash. You
is
saying he's just a
definitely overrated.
guy.
Where would
You,
is
you
top 10
saying he's
playmaker?
overrated. You spent 20
He
minutes
is.
disrespecting Klay Thompson. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna use Seven's phrase. I gotta talk to the bosses. That's what I gotta do. I gotta talk to the bosses. We're gonna
I
send
really
you
do
a
gotta talk
COVID
to the
test.
bosses, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna send you a PCR test, a COVID test. We're gonna get you right, man. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man. I don't know what Seven's on today. Horrible.
Let me ask you this. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Pat Riley of the
Yes.
Miami Heat, in an interview, he addressed Kyle Lowry's conditioning in his
Oh, I
shirt.
didn't see it. What
He
happened?
said he
Talk to me.
definitely is going to. Pat Riley says he's definitely going to have to address that, and it will be addressed. I definitely think he can be in better shape. We'll address it and try to help him. So Pat Riley is kind of taking shots at Kyle Lowry. They're addressing the fact that maybe Kyle has been out of shape this season with
Wow.
the Miami Heat.
Wow.
What do you think about these comments by Pat after Miami just lost Game 7? And do you think Kyle Lowry will remain in Miami?
I think only two things can happen. You either internally fix that problem because Pat Riley is actually known to publicly make statements like that. When LeBron left, he blasted LeBron, right? He's been somebody that just speaks outwardly when certain things don't go his way. And
Right.
he's obviously going to try and scapegoat Kyle Lowry because Kyle Lowry, remember, was hurt for 2 series and he come back in the finals. Um, so I personally, if we talking about personally, two things can happen. Kyle Lowry can do a Ben Simmons and then get out, or he can flip it, be in the best season of his life, shape of his life, and then demand a max contract. And he would be well within his right to do that. So I personally don't feel like it's too much of a surprise in terms of if you look at the history of Pat Riley, but at the same time, it's kind of left because he really should be the first one to be like, you know what, we're gonna make this right. We pushed them to a Game 7. I'm proud of these guys. Like, let's run these things back. You want to get your players to come back. Kyle Lowry can turn around and be like, I don't like what Pat Riley just said. I'm saying out. I'm not doing this. I can't play for someone who don't believe
Right.
in me.
Right.
So it just depends
Well,
on.
see, me, I,
You
I,
gotta
I
wait to
feel
see
two
what Kyle
different
Lowry.
ways about this. I think you're absolutely right as far as Pat Riley and how
Yeah,
he's always been opinionated. Like,
yeah,
even in this same interview, I believe he talked about Tyler Hero. They asked him about Tyler Hero wanting to be a starter next season. And Pat Riley said, as
mhm,
far as being a starter, come to training camp and win it. Like straight up and down. Now, this is, I think Tyler Hero just won what, best six man of the award of the year, something? You
mm,
know what I mean? But Pat Riley, like he's always been like that. So I don't think that's a big deal. But what I will say is I never felt like Kyle Lowry was a part of the Heat culture. I feel like his heart has always been in Toronto. And to
Toronto,
me, it looked
right?
like all season he struggled to adjust to, this new environment. He just doesn't fit in. He looked
Hmm.
okay in the playoffs. He had his moments, but just overall, he just does not seem to fit that Miami coach. I think his heart is still in Toronto. And,
Hmm.
I think, honestly, I definitely think I honestly feel like we'll see him back in Toronto before we see him back in Miami because even
Mm.
though we know Pat Riley speaks his mind, that was a little bit too much,
That's
too
way too
soon.
much. Yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? I'm like, you taking shots at your guy like this too soon, and no one is going to hold Pat Riley accountable for it because that's who he is. And
Mm.
Kyle Lowry is a champion now, like it or not. So I don't think he's really going to take that or feel like he has to. I think he can go somewhere else, like you said, and get some respect. But I think he will push to go back to Toronto if they would have him. He probably would take less money too. I just feel like that's probably where he needs to be. But that was interesting that Pat Riley took the
Yeah,
shots.
that's you know, Pat Riley's always been opinionated, but to specifically highlight Kyle Lowry's weight is that one is a little different. Like he's never pinpointed what he feels the actual cause is publicly. Um, that's different. That's different. And I don't think Kyle Lowry is somebody that he doesn't really make too much complaints. But like you said, his heart is in Toronto, and you can't blame him. Spent all his career there, won a ring there. Definitely going to have his number hanging up there when he finishes playing. So, you know, uh, that's going to be interesting to see what Kyle Lowry says back. If he does respond back, it would be another piece missing if he doesn't come back. And Jimmy Butler's obviously going to be vexed because nobody else really would match his work ethic when it comes to being able to affect the team. Tyler Hero wanting to be a starter is strange because he hasn't earned it yet. That's my
Right.
personal opinion. He's six man of the year. That's your role. You want to do more, you're going to literally do more and show them that you want to do more. That's it.
Now, four-time NBA All-Star Rasheed Wallace, AJ, he has agreed on a deal to be the assistant coach for the LA Lakers under new head coach Darvin Ham. Now, both Darvin
Yeah.
Ham and Rasheed Wallace, they were teammates in Detroit with the Pistons. They were part of that 2004 title team.
Yes.
What do you think
Yes.
about Rasheed being part of this coaching staff along with Darvin Ham trying to lead LeBron, AD, and apparently Russ?
If this was Miami LeBron, who was still able to sit in a chair, still take one to instruction, um, and
You're
be
a LeBron
okay
hater.
with. No, 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 really, no. I just have a
You
different view than you.
you are AJ. I'm convinced. After this morning,
No,
I'm
no,
sold.
no.
You went all the way back
After,
to you went all the way back to Miami, LeBron.
hold on,
This
let
is
me
the best
finish,
LeBron we've
man.
ever seen.
Seven, come
You
on,
just a hater.
let me finish.
I'm sorry. I just
The
wanted to
the
point that
the
out to the
the
American.
makeup of who LeBron is now in terms of um after him coming back from 3-1 and winning, the coach has to be able to fit that LeBron system. Um, and he kind of has to be like a co-coach in a way. Rashid and David Ham, their thing is defense, right? Because that's where they come from. Their whole thing is you going. It starts with defense. Our defense is going to dictate our offense. We gotta get stops. We gotta be able to sit in the chair. We gotta be able to get physical. And I believe he's gonna try and do what Udoka did, which is install a defensive mentality and a toughness to the Lakers that isn't really there, especially on Anthony Davis's part. You know, him and his glass ankles. You know, Russell Westbrook not listening to nobody. Um, so it starts with LeBron. If LeBron set the tone and listen to David Ham and Rashid, and he gets everybody on that same page, then our team's gonna look different. Seven. We was embarrassed this year, bro. It was a complete embarrassment to be a Laker this year. Um, Russell Westbrook didn't even want to sit down when he's more effective coming off the bench than he is being a starter. Everybody argued that you need to give him the ball and let Russ be Russ. No, this is a situation where you are in a completely different system. You need to be able to impact in different ways. It can't just be everybody just got to roll with who you are as a basketball player and what you did in the past and live with whatever decision you make. You are in front of the cameras, you are on the Lakers hardwood floor. We expect titles, and you embarrassed us all year. When you add Rasheed Wallace and David Ham to a coaching staff, they're going to expect you to play defense. Period, point blank, end of story. So if that does not happen, and if they don't change how they play the game and listen to the way these two are gonna dictate how the coaching is gonna be done, it's just gonna be another rocky year, and shots in the media about how they're not letting them do what they want. Because remember, the players have more control now than the coaches do. So it just depends on whether the players are able to concede to what David Ham's going to do and Rasheed Wallace is going to do. Because they're about defense, especially that '04 Pistons team. You got to be able to sit in that chair. If you're not ready to play defense, boy, it's going to be a long season. So it's an interesting add. But once they've added those two, it's defense first before anything else. But that's my personal opinion. What do you
All right,
think,
this is
Seven?
my turn. It's my turn. I'm sitting here trying to find Jeannie Buss' Twitter account. I'm trying to find if she has a Twitter account. I want to apologize to her for me allowing you to come up on my show being so terribly just rude and disrespectful to the Lakers organization. Here you go. Number one, you want to talk like LeBron and AD won't listen to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it going to be a problem because this is a quote unquote new head coach? LeBron has never had a legendary, iconic coach without pretty much help making one, i.e., Eric Spoelstra. The only other thing that could be in benefit of LeBron James is to have a coach that is a player or has played the game. We
Mm-hmm.
saw him finally get that in 2016, and what happened when he joined Ty Lue? They won a championship. Darvin Ham is a winner. He just coached Giannis and won a ring. He's won a ring as a player. He was a big deal in the NCAA's. To me, this is a perfect fit. He's definitely going to bring that
Wow.
defensive grit, that attitude. I feel it. He's already had conversations with Russell Westbrook, multiple detailed conversations, according to him, according to Coach Ham. He's already talked to Russell on multiple occasions already, and all Russell is saying is sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice.
Really?
So I really honestly believe that this is going to work. Absolutely. Now, my only question is the X's and the O's. What the hell
Mm-hmm.
does Rasheed Wallace know about the X's and O's of the game? And what is Darvin Ham going to be able to know about the X's and O's in it? You know what I'm saying? When you have these expectations on it. Because, yeah, you won a championship with Giannis, but the
Mm-hmm.
expectations will never be as high as when you're in LA and when you're coaching LeBron. It's always win or bust.
Well, we just gonna have to wait and see. Me personally, I need to see it. This is all well and
Yeah,
good,
I got to
and
see
I'm
it.
a Laker
I got
fan
to
till
see
I
it
die.
immediately. But
Like I've got Kobe hanging on my wall, bro. I expect winning. There's nothing below that. I expect you to win. I expect a winning culture. I expect us to make the playoffs instead of missing the play-in tournament. It was an embarrassment to
do you
be a
have
Laker
LeBron on
fan.
your wall? Do you have LeBron on
Huh?
your wall?
No,
Do you
no,
have
I don't.
LeBron on
But
your wall? Do you have
I don't have
Magic on your
LeBron.
wall?
I have Kobe on my wall.
Magic?
That's who
Just Kobe.
I've got Kobe. That's who I got. Um,
Wow.
so
Wow.
so you know, um, I say all of that to say, let's see what happens. If this is you saying perfect fit, I'm saying experiment. This is another experiment. They can come out publicly and say this is the perfect guy, and they're excited and sacrifice and blah blah blah. Yeah, 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 yeah. This was the same hype that they had when Frank Vogel came. Let's see what happens when he tells Russell Westbrook, "You gonna sit down." Let's see if they're gonna be excited then. Let's see what happens when he says to LeBron, "AD is going to shoot this ball, not you." Let's see what happens. Let's see. So until they're able
All
to
right,
buy
guys.
in, I don't believe it. Sorry.
That's my guy AJ. You heard it from him first, man. We're gonna have to see how this thing play out with the Lakers. AJ, I appreciate you chopping it up with me this morning, man. Definitely good times. I appreciate you coming through, man. I'm going to be going live every morning. I just don't have a set time, but I'm just going to be bullshitting
Okay.
doing a little like
Okay.
breakfast and basketball type shit where I'm just going to have
I
at
like
least two
that. Breakfast
topics
and
every
basketball
day.
is perfect. I
You
think
know
you
what I'm
should
saying?
actually keep that.
Yeah.
Breakfast and basketball works.
Yeah, shout out to my bro Yo Yo from the Word Sport. Yo Yo, if you still here, man, I'm gonna need some graphics because I do got some ideas for some shows. So I know I'm gonna need intros and some stuff like that. So I'll be going definitely live every day. Um, so hopefully, bro, I'll see you again. We can chop it up some more, bro.
For sure. It's an honor, Seven. I'm gonna hit you later.
Likewise. Likewise. Stay
Peace.
safe.
Peace.